Bad, 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 bad. Right, I'm going to fix the final bits of this cruiser. Tacho, oil pressure. There's a little water leak. We'll sort that. I've got a fault code, one fault code to fix in the ECU. Yeah, I've got a glow light as well. We do have a check light though, so that's good sign. I'm going to dig in there, do some checking of wiring. Make this, control that tacho. Yes, we're gonna make that tacho go. Well, that escalated quickly. There, the tacho's not in there, it's on the bench. But I'm checking wires. I've confirmed my power and my earth. And these do something funny, they've got a pair of diodes right there. Seen this before? I've traced my tacho wire, my input is right here. And I believe now I've got continuity like I should. I've made a couple of changes, sorted a couple of bits and pieces out. And I'm going to see if I've got a pulse right there. Okay, so it just looks like a whole lot of squiggly lines, but that is just what I was looking for. That's perfect. I'm going to sit my tacho back into the dashboard and see if we've actually got a tacho that'll work. I don't think it's idling at 4,000. But I got a tacho. Woohoo! $8.50. I can't see it. Oh, it needs to be a bit higher. That's about $1,000. Close enough. I can see it once it's in the truck. So a little bit of fiddling, and hopefully I've got an oil pressure gauge that works and a tacho that works. We'll do a final check before we put it all back together. This is the first cold start of the day. Yes, I know I've got to check engine light flashing. I know what that is too. Do we have an oil pressure light going up? I'm yet to sort all the cold start. It's just running on some base numbers. There we go. And the oil pressure gauge comes up, and it should go quite high, because the oil pressure should be quite high. Oh yeah. Awesome. Another piece ticked off the list. I'm going to put all that back together and move on to sorting that check light. Perfect. Right guys, you'll often hear me say that I'm not a fan of mega squared ECUs. I don't actually mind the ECUs. What I have an issue with is the install. So let's have a bit of a look at this one. We'll just find some of the nasties, not all of them. So that's from the ECU that we cut off. comes out, joins it into these white wires. We look here, we've got a massive wad. What's interesting is that's not white wires, that's black wires. There's a lump there. So we've got ECU, join into a whole lot of white wires, join into black wires, spiral wrapped into and taped up. Okay, there's a join. Into a whole lot of different colours. Don't tell me there's joins there too. Joins into those though might actually get out to this point here without any more joins. Well, that one actually gets there without any joins. There's a join for the orange wire, which is a... oh wait. What is that orange wire? Sorry, I lied. Here they are. Another join, and another join. Join, 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 join. All the injectors are going to have another join as well. And that's like a water temp or an air temp sensor. Oh, that's an air temp. Again, another joins. Right, I had enough of this. That's on the Mega Squirt, yeah. So, I'm not actually against the computers as much as the installs that we see. And it just turns out that nearly every install I see looks like this. Chase, do you think the road inspector's going the wrong way? There's a road inspector going completely the wrong way. I reckon he's looking for the cell phone tower. He's not going to find it. So one day, I might do an install on a Mega Squirt and show how to wire it properly so you don't end up with a mess like that. Your gasket. There's nothing wrong. The whistle returned. Jace's intake whistle returned. And it would come and go with I two at the box. Have a look at this. Have a look.
No.
That's because there's nothing there. There's literally
nothing there. The flanges do something. Warp.
Nah, well if you look here, right? See how the flange sits? There's gasket there. So it's only got that little bit on the outside to seal on. That's actually not touching. Not touching at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. How hard is it to pull out off the back of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
The bottom short, the bottom bolt.
The bottom bolt is not very good.
No.
Because it was leaking was whistling on this side, and I tightened these bolts up. I tightened the bolts up, and it moved to this side. That's how close it is. Just the tension of the bolts pulls this over enough. Because there's nowhere for it to sit on.
Glued on them.
That's why it was glued on, eh? Majorly.
They had 2 gaskets. There's a couple of gaskets and they were all glued to each other.
Yeah, but it's... Cut the flange off, put another flange on.
And that whole intake tube is very amazing because the back flange is just as bad.
Oh, man.
Well, if you're going to go that way.
We can let's do the front one.
Oh, that's my problem.
I'll see if I've got a throttle body adapter cut out already. Otherwise we'll glue it and talk to the man because it's crappy.
Solve my problem, Kelvin.
We've done a bit of checking and putting some tuning numbers in, and I found that the fuel pressure wasn't responding like it should. This does give us a little bit of a problem, but a little bit of diagnosing. I'm about to run 8mm fuel hose across the vehicle into the fuel tank to see if it's the 6mm return in this vehicle that's causing our problem. Fuel hose is in. Okay, I've got fuel pressure's dropping. I got 360.
What do you got now?
300.
That's the vacuum line on, that's it off.
360 there.
Yeah,
Yeah. And did you just take it off?
put it back on.
On, it's 300.
Yeah.
Take it off. 360. It's too small on the fuel line. That return line is too small.
Yeah. Grab it, see what it does.
It goes the correct way.
I do that.
So it doesn't go backwards anymore.
No.
It actually, it's too small on the fuel line. Needs a new fuel line put through it.
No, something you can do.
Another thing on the list.
Yeah.
We need that much fuel flow to handle those injectors. Otherwise we go way small on the injectors and it won't be enough to hold the power.
Yeah.
Those 6mm lines work fine in a Hilux with our normal pump that we run.
Yeah.
But certainly not enough for this one.
No, it's like that.
It's water dripping off the roof. We can both hear something dripping, like it's got a fuel leak. Or a fuel or water or something dripping.
It's just the water off the top of the gutter there.
Yeah. Righto, that proves that point. Cool. Easy, eh? So I haven't really tuned it yet. But last time when we were climbing up a spot like this.
Do that.
It didn't do that, Jace, did it?
That's fine.
Just driving into town, had a bit of a misfire when it came on the boost. We just cruised it. And we just put 75 litres worth of fuel into this. I think we can go that way. No more misfire. I think that 75 litres, I got no idea how big the tanks are on these, eh? It's bigger than 75. Wasn't much in it, it would have been flopping around because it's a non-EFI tank.
Yeah, well, well, it's got a little thing that sits in.
Yeah, but probably not enough when it's that low.
Yeah.
It's good now because we know it's got plenty of good fuel in it at 98. dairy factory. Yeah, right there, eh? Cold morning to be playing golf.
Too bad in the sun.
I've tamed the acceleration enrichment, and then I've increased the main fuel table. We need that big fuel pump, but of course we've got that fuel pressure problem.
Yeah.
So it needs that fuel pressure regulator working properly as well. So we've pretty much done as much as we can do now. It needs that return line sorted.
Yeah.
It's a bit howly in here. I didn't notice it with the window down. And it needs to go on a dyno. Have you actually managed to? It doesn't. It looks like it's only put half a bar of boost.
Yeah, it's quite annoying.
Misfire there. That was definitely misfire. I'll get back and I'll have a look when we get back.
Plugged in up on this?
IK22.
Oh, yeah, should be fine. I'm not that much risk.
Yeah, she's a misfire there.
Yeah.
I can see the mixtures have leaned off. The problem with this, of course, is previously it's run really, really lean. You know, with the other ECU, we know it was running really, really lean.
Yeah.
So, and damage is cumulative, unfortunately.
Yeah. So who knows what else is
That's right,
wrong inside the motor?
correct. It's running good temperatures at the moment, 85 degrees. Air temp under the manifold is 49 degrees.
Not that bad.
So that's okay. It is a cold day today.
Yeah, it's cool. Man.
So on a hot day, it isn't going to be so good.
Yeah, go flat.
I'll pull plugs out and have a look. It is only running 7 pounds of boost though.
Yeah, we can feel the
Yeah, I can feel a misfire coming through. Tough. Yeah, absolutely.
misfires and
Yeah, air distribution could be in that manifold. So yesterday when I was working on it, our whistle, throttle body whistle came back. So under duress, I did 2 gaskets and some sealant. I didn't really want to, but it really needs a new intake tube with nice thick flanges on it, and it was just going to become, that really becomes another job that needs to be done. But that's fixed it. I put 2 1.5mm gaskets with sealant and left it overnight to go off so the sealant goes nice and hard. We've driven it, and when it goes good, it goes really quite well. We still have a bit of a misfire to sort, but we've also got a fuel line that's too small, a fuel return line that's way too small. So the goal is to get it ready to go on a dyno, because this vehicle needs to go on a dyno to be set up properly. to give it some reliability, give it some lifespan. But there's no point doing that while we've got problems with the fuel return and the fuel pressure. Didn't do that before, eh? No. Of course, I got a dash that all works. Yeah. And put it back together.
Whoa. That was a whippy whip.
Just straight into the shop and turn it off. I want it so the plugs are. I want it. Oh, I can't with these gates in the way. Don't drive through the gates, Jace. We need to open the gates.
Yeah, open the gates. Then I'll drive into the workshop.
Hey Jace, you stalled it. Oh, but it starts now.
I was doing their start test.
Hey, there's enough fuel there now. How'd that feel?
Not good.
It's better, eh? How did it sound? Noisy.
Whiny.
Like your missus sometimes.
No, I'm not comment. No comment.
What do we get on 6,400 RPM? 137 kPa this morning. Maximum temp is 87 degrees. You've only hit the rev limiter twice.
I touched the rev limiter.
Maybe it was me.
I think it was you.
And 62% on the duty cycle of those injectors. So it can take some more boost now. Once the fuel pressure sorted, it would take more boost, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I did compression test on it. I found the cylinder with a misfire, which actually had 10 psi more compression, which isn't unusual when it's a bit gummed up with crap. Did I show you that I pulled the dash apart and wiped all the grease out of it?
Yeah.
Well, I had the dash apart, there was grease from the cable coming up. And the mixture's targeting where it's meant to target now. I've got closed loop lambda off. Pretty much this is fix the fuel line, get it on a dyno, make some noise. You're in top gear and it just plugs away. That's pretty good, eh? Mixture's within a point of where it should be.
So pretty good then.
Yeah, mate. We can probably do the short track if you want. Just back up to half up the road.
Let's go, dude.
Alternator's charging nicely. I've set it up pretty rich at the moment, and it's actually hitting all the numbers like it should.
Feels like engine mounts, gearbox, crossmember.
Yeah, we've had the crossmember out, so unless we've broken it, now it's got more power.
Or it
Just set up.
That's just the way it is. We never noticed it before because it doesn't make any power.
That's quite drivable, eh? It kind of needs a supercharger in one of these to make sufficient power to push it along, because they're a bit of a brick, eh?
There's big wheels on.
Big wheels.
But it's not fast. It's fast enough.
Yeah, fast enough for a brick on. It handles like a refrigerator.
Yeah, the brakes are quite amazing on it, actually.
It's got good brakes. Yep.
It's got really good brakes.
It's actually a pretty tiny truck, eh? One of these.
Yeah, steering's average. Below.
Big wheels don't help. I've also taken the spacers out from under the bonnet.
That's how it seems like.
Mate, 86 degrees.
Yeah.
Bang on. So no issues at the moment.
It was probably creating more heat because it was lean.
Absolutely. It still needs that radiator sorted,
Yeah.
but
And the bottom hose replaced.
Bottom hose sorted. Like what's like air temps are sitting at 51 degrees under the manifold.
Not much there.
No, 1 degree. Air temp going down that tube into the throttle body is 15 degrees. So our supercharger's 3 times, 3 1/3 times it's adding in heat at half a bar a boost. It's not even half, it's not even quite half a bar, is it? Made like £6 then. It's actually not even 0.7, Jace. It's 140, 0.4 of a bar. I think there's plenty in it to put more of it now.
Yeah.
We can put more in it now. And get the adjustable pulley, get the slip-on pulley, or the get the removable pulley, or those replaceable hubs, so you can pop different pulleys on it.
Yeah, the belt. Then the belt situation we need to address.
Oh, then the belt's going to be a pain. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so on that belt there, temp came up to 58 degrees. You want to just hold it up the big long hill. We'll just go up the big hill and just hold it flat, and we'll see what that temp does, eh? And you used a more ejector duty cycle, then you got it up to 62. With the supercharger, it's not dropping off the D-cell properly. Needs to be done on the dyno though. And I've only got like 13 degrees of timing of it at that boost. Okay, water temp is 50. No, water temp is 85. It just dropped from 86, and inlet air temp is 51. We're actually getting some air temp corrections because the air temp is so high, is up there.
Yep.
So we're running like 10 degrees of timing there. And as that temp comes off, it's dropping down. We're climbing the big hill, and last time it would hardly climb up here. We're at 55 degrees, 56. Degrees.
I can feel the timing dropping out of it.
Yeah, as that temp comes up, the timing's dropping off. Cool, turn around, let's go back, we're done. Yeah, but it can set up on the dyno now, run up properly, we know that's good.
Yeah.
Have some knock control set up, all those things that you do on a dyno can be done on the dyno now. But it's actually driving nice. We have traffic.
Rush hour.